Most local businesses are wasting money on SEO tools that don't move the Google Maps ranking at all, or they have no idea what tools to even use to get started on how to rank higher on Google Maps. I'm going to share the exact tools that we use to get results like these. This home remodeler made $250,000 from local SEO. That's closed deals in just 6 months. Or this contractor got $600,000 in estimates from Google Maps in just 2 weeks, $200,000 of which he closed. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact tool stack that we use every single day at my agency to rank local clients on Google Maps, what each tool does, and how to use it. One of these tools is completely free and became our single most important local SEO tool. If you don't know who I am, my name is Munir. I'm the co-founder of Vixel Studio, a local SEO and Google Ads agencies for local service companies. We've worked with over 100 companies across Canada and the US, and we're actively using these strategies at our company. And you can see all of our case studies on vixelstudio.com. We've generated over $12 million across all of our clients. Let's get right into it. So tool number one, which may sound a bit obvious, but it's actually your Google business profile. And the reason I say this is because you need to be extremely familiar with the capabilities of your Google business profile. So what I mean by this is that you should go to business.google.com/locations. You want to press on see your profile and you want to go through all of the buttons and know exactly what's possible in your Google business profile. So if you search up the name of your company or you press on this and press on business profile manager, then press on see your profile, you're going to see all these buttons right over here. The main thing is you want to press on edit profile. You want to make sure that you input everything here as detailed and as complete as possible. You can use this button to read reviews and also respond to every single review. You want to upload photos very consistently to your Google Business profile. You can upload Google Business profile posts, especially if you're already making social media posts online. You can add in products of all the different services that you offer. You can press on this button and create a product for every single service or offering that you have. You can press on edit services and add in all your services over here. You can press on the bookings and input the URL so that someone can book with your company. And you can use this link to get the URL so that people can leave you reviews. Getting leads from your Google Business profile is going to be the core thing to rank on Google Maps. So you need to make sure that you're very comfortable with all of these, and especially that you inputted all the information into your Google Business profile correctly. Number two is going to be local dominator. So again, we know that most of the leads come from Google Maps, so we need to know how we're doing on Google Maps so we can compare to our competitors. So I'm going to find a random home remodeler in San Diego. This company is called Optimal Home Remodeling and Design. I'm going to open up Local Dominator. And in this search field right here, I'm going to put in the name of the business. It's going to show up right here. I typically only select Google Maps. I'm going to look at Local Pack. And then I'm going to input here the keywords that I want to see how well I'm ranking for. So I can zoom out right here. So this is going to show me the radius of where I rank. You can increase this or decrease this. If you have a lot of competitors, usually a radius of 1 on this tool is good enough. But if you're in a more rural area and there's not many competitors, you can increase this to around 2. So since this is a home remodeler, I'm going to add in the keyword home remodelers near me. And I'm also going to add the keyword home remodeling contractor San Diego. Press enter. So now I'm going to see the scans for these 2 keywords on Google Maps. If there's a certain pin that you don't want to see how well you rank on, you can deselect them. You can also click and drag and move the pins around your central location. However, in most cases, you want to just keep the central pin at your address because the further you move away from your physical address, usually the worse your rankings will be. So I'm going to press on scan and then I'm going to wait and see what the scan looks like. So now I have these 2 scans. This is the end result for home remodelers near me for that one company. And then this is also for home remodeling contractor San Diego. So these are the results of these 2 scans. So if I go to this scan right here and I press on this one. So number 1 on this tool means that if someone in this location right over here was to search for home remodeling contractor San Diego, this company would show up for us like they do right over here. If I click on that pin, I'm able to see the exact rankings of every single company. If someone in this pin right here was to search for home remodeling contractor San Diego. So Optimal right here shows up number 1 in all of these zones right here, which is a really good sign. And you're going to see the trend that the further away you move from the pin, typically the worse the rankings become. So this is pretty far away. And if I press on this pin, you're going to see that Optimal Home Remodeling is not 4th, meaning that these companies are not first taking their spot. So the next question you probably have is, why is Optimal ranking so easily well over here? But as soon as we go down south, the rankings become a lot worse. So you can click on the pin and figure out why. So if I go to this 18 and I press on this, you're going to see that all of these smaller pins, you see these blue pins right here, these represent other businesses that have their own physical address in this area right here. As you can see, there's a cluster of many other home remodeling companies in San Diego, but they have their physical address around this area. So the general trend that you're going to see is when there is a pin and there's a lot more competitors that have their address near that pin, it's going to be much harder for you to rank, especially if your address, in this case, is much further away. So if I hover over the person that's first, you're going to see that this company, Beyond Remodeling, their address is right there. So because they are so close to that pin and they have reviews, they're going to have dibs on that spot. If I wanted to see the rankings of this company, I can press on Beyond Remodeling here, and then it's actually going to show me their stand. So this company actually shows up in this area right here, but they don't show up more north because Optimal and other companies have their physical address right over here. And if I want to go back to Optimal, I can just press on my map and I can just see my own rankings. If I want to see all my competitors and see who has the best average ranking, I can press on the bottom left button right here, competitors, and it's going to show me all the competitors listed by their average ranking. So this company, Modern Home Remodeling, you can see their pin is pretty close to ours. I can press on it and it's going to show me their stand. So their stand is also pretty good, but you're going to see it's not as good as Optimal. Optimal has a lot of pins where they're number 1. However, Modern Home Remodeling, they're number 2, but their average ranking is still pretty good. And you can see that the difference likely comes because of the difference in ratings. So Optimal Home Remodeling has 79 reviews, whereas Modern Home Remodeling has 64, which is probably giving Optimal that edge to showing up number 1. And you can see the rankings of every single competitor as you go down that list. You can also see where their pin is at to see where they're essentially located as well. With this tool, you're also able to run a scheduled stand. So you can have this tool run a stand every week or every 2 weeks to just see how you're progressing as you get more reviews to your Google Business Profile or as you get more backlinks. We like to track this the most because as soon as you start ranking higher on Google Maps, this is when you'll see the most increase in leads in your business. So this is why in our agency, this is almost always our number 1 priority, to always do scans of this and always work hard to get this to be number 1. By the way, if you want to do all of this local SEO work for you and send you updates of it improving every single month, you can book a call with me and my team with the first link in the description. On that call, we're going to build you a roadmap so you can see what needs to happen for you to rank on Google Maps in your area. We can show you for free what your current rankings are and what budget it'll take for you to be ranked number 1. So now the next tool that we use is a content optimizer tool. So there's many out there. There's Surfer SEO, there's Rankability, and also a combination with Claude or GPT to create content on your website. So for Google to rank you, they need to understand what your business actually does and where. And for them to do that, they scrape your website and make conclusions on what your business does. What that means is that it's your job to make it extremely clear on your website what your business exactly does and where. So for example, if you are a kitchen remodeler in San Diego, your homepage has to talk all about that. So you start off with these tools by making something called a content prompt with that keyword. So in this case, I'm going to use the example kitchen remodeler San Diego. So now I'm in the tool, and this tool is going to show me a few interesting things. It's going to tell me that if I want to rank for this keyword, which is kitchen remodeler San Diego, I need to have between 917 and 1100 words. And if I press on this SEO button right here, it's going to show me all the different words or topics that I should talk about if I want to rank for this keyword. And you're probably wondering, how is it getting all these topics? Well, it's getting them from all of my competitors. So if I press on the customize button right here, I can select what competitors I want to compare my content to so that I can rank as well. So I can select all these other actual companies to see what topics and how much words I should add in my page. And now you're going to see as I write in content in Surfer SEO or this content editor, the score is going to go up and down accordingly. So if I make my headline Best Kitchen Remodeler San Diego, you're going to see that my score already went up to 17. And as I add in more content, the score is going to go up and down accordingly. So in the next slide, I'm going to show you a prompt to actually write the content on this page. But to use the prompt properly, you're going to need to combine information about your own company so that the content is actually unique and pertains to your company. You need to include the keywords from Surfer SEO, and you need a template of what the page should typically look like. So this is what the prompt looks like. You can pause right here. Basically, I say, you are an SEO writer for a kitchen remodeling company. I need your help to write out the content for my homepage, which will be designed to rank for kitchen remodeling San Diego. I also want the content on my page to convert. So here's all the information about my company. Here is how I want my page to be formatted. And then here are the NLP keywords. NLP keywords are these keywords over here on this right-hand section that I need to incorporate into my content with fractions of how much I should use. So if I open up ChatGPT and then I copy this prompt right over here. So to fill in the information about my company, I'm just going to use this example, Pacific Kitchens Inc. I'm just going to copy all the information on this page and I'm just going to paste it in right over here. And then I'm also going to paste in all of the NLP keywords from Surfer SEO. So all of this right over here, copy this, and then also paste it right here. You typically want to spend more time on this section right over here. You want to write out the history of your company, what makes you unique so that the content is actually unique. And then I'm going to press send prompt. So you're going to see that it's going to start writing out the content right over here. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to go to the bottom. Then I'm going to select this, press copy, go into Surfer, then press paste. And then you're going to see that my score already went to 87 out of 100 without really trying. Obviously, I still need to proofread this, simplify it, make it very clear, make it very easy to read, make sure it's accurate. And there you go. Now you have enough content on your homepage to actually rank. And this should actually fit the design of your website. So as long as you made this section correctly. So this is key to having Google really understand your service and where you offer your service as well. Tool number 4 is Screaming Frog, and this helps you catch technical errors on your website. So what this tool does is it basically crawls your entire website and ensures that there is nothing that will stop it from ranking. It'll find any broken links, if you have any missing H1s or page titles. So this is what the tool looks like. What you can do is you can just grab any URL right over here, go back into the tool, press paste, and then just press start. And then what it's going to do is that it's going to start crawling through every single page on the website and gather every single detail possible about that page. So you're going to see now it's starting to populate every single page and gather all this information about each one. Once it's done, you're able to press the export button and then actually export it to a Google Sheet. Once you export it to Google Sheets, it becomes a lot easier to figure out what's wrong with your website. So the first thing you want to check is that if there's any status codes for 100. In this case, they're all 200s, but there is one 301 redirect, so I can see if I still need this or not. I can also scroll to the right and see if any pages are missing their page title or their meta description. So these should be filled out for all the core pages that are trying to rank on Google. It'll also tell me if there is an H1 on the page. So every main page that is trying to rank on Google should have at least one main H1. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of pages that don't have H1s. So I need to confirm that if these pages are trying to rank, like these ones, then we should have an H1. It'll also tell us if there's a second H1. Typically, there should only be one H1 per page. So if there's a second H1, we should probably just remove this one and turn this into an H2. If you keep scrolling to the right, you'll also see something called a readability score. So it'll actually read through the content and tell you if it's written easily or if it's hard to read. So you can go through these and simplify the wording and the sentences to make it easier to read. And you'll also see inlinks. Basically, what you're looking for is if there's any zeros on a single page. If a page was to have 0 inlinks, that means that there is no way to actually access this URL by clicking into the website. This means that it's an orphan page, and orphan pages never rank on Google. So you always need to make sure that every page has at least a 1 here. So doing a scan every month or every few months, just to make sure that everything is set up correctly on your website, is super helpful. And this is what we do at our company. Next is Ahrefs or SEMrush, and this helps you identify keywords and gather information about backlinks. So the first way that I like to use it is to gather what keywords that my competitors are ranking for, and this will give me ideas on what pages that I should make for my own company because my competitors have also made pages about those topics. So I can go back to the kitchen remodeling San Diego example, and I can put in a URL of my competitors into Ahrefs and check out all of their keywords. So I inputted the URL of one of their competitors. This is called remodelworks.com, and then I can go to organic keywords on the left here. So I can see that they're ranking for 1,022 keywords, and I can see every single keyword that they rank, as well as their position right in this column over here. So I see that they're ranking for types of cabinet doors, and they used to have a page, but it's no longer ranking. So if I also offer different types of cabinet doors, I can also make a page to take the spot so that I could potentially get some traffic. Or this one over here, luxury vinyl flooring pros and cons. You're going to see that Remodel Words has a blog talking about it, and they're currently ranking number 4. So I can make my own blog and talk about this topic right over here if I also offer luxury vinyl. The second main way I like to use Ahrefs is to figure out what backlinks my competitors have and then also try to acquire the exact same ones. So I'm going to go back to this example, remodelworks.com, and then I'm going to press on backlinks on the left over here, and it's going to show me every single backlink that this company has. So you're going to see that they have 1,492 groups of links. However, you may see that a lot of them may be spammy or not really relevant to, kitchen remodeling or San Diego. So whenever I look at backlinks, I like to only look at the do follow ones, and then also like to go to best links and go on non-spammy links, and then press on show results. So we're going to go from 1,400 links all the way down to 535. And now Ahrefs is showing me the exact good links that are making this company rank. And then I can go through these and actually try to acquire the same ones. So I can look at this blog post right here, extraspace.com. And this is a blog about 13 ideas for upgrading your kitchen floor. So I'm going to click on this link right over here. Then if I scroll to the right, I'm going to see that remodelworks.com has a link with this text called proper care. So I'm going to go to the page. So if I control F for proper care and I press on this link, it's going to take me to remodelworks.com, but this page is broken. So maybe I could actually contact this company Spacewise and try to offer my blog post or my website to be replaced here instead. Or I can reach out to them and try to find any other blog that I want to be featured on and have a link to my website and maybe pay them a fee for that. So this is a whole long list of many different links that you can try to acquire for your own company. And if this company right here, remodelworks.com, is ranking, which they are, then if I try to acquire these same links, then I will also rank as well. Next, tool number 6 is Detailed SEO, which is just a Chrome extension. You can find it over here, just called the Detailed SEO Chrome extension. This tool allows you to quickly see the page title, meta description, and headers of a page. So as I go through many different websites, I like to always make sure that the page title and meta description is always set correctly, and this tool allows me to do that. So if I press on this button right here for the Detailed SEO Chrome extension, it's going to show me what the page title, meta description is. I want to make sure that the main keyword is set in this page title here, and the main keyword is in this description over here. So we should be mentioning San Diego in this meta description over here. When I also press on headings, I want to make sure that I only have a one H1 on this page. So in this case, I have two H1s, so we should remove this one. So I only have a one H1, and I want to make sure that the phrase kitchen remodeling San Diego is in that H1, which is the case. So this tool makes it really easy for me to ensure that the page title, meta description, and headings are set correctly, which is a big on-page SEO factor. And then we have call tracking tools like CallRail or Go High Level. And this is just to track the ROI of all the SEO efforts that you're doing. To know if even your SEO is working, you need to be able to track all the calls and the phone leads. So tools like Go High Level or CallRail allow you to buy multiple phone numbers so you can track revenue. So you can buy a phone number and have it shown only on your Google Business profile so you can track how many calls you're getting from Google Maps every single month. You can also have a dedicated different phone number on your website so you can track how many people are going to your website and then calling you that way instead. If there's a phone number on your website, it should be able to tell you also if they came from ads or from Google Organic as well. We're able to track leads for our own clients at our company, so I'm able to see the source of every single lead as well as a summary so that I know whether the SEO work that I'm doing is actually generating real qualified results very quickly with the summary right here. I don't just say, oh, we got you 40 clicks on your telephone button. No, I'm able to see how many people actually called and if the lead was actually good or if it was a spam. If you're also advanced, you can use Go High Level to trigger follow-ups, text people back automatically, and create a nurture sequence for any person that hasn't closed yet. So hope you enjoyed that video. Again, as a reminder, these tools will only matter if you do SEO consistently over at least a 3 to 9 month period. I need to track the ROI of this effort so you know whether SEO is working for you or not. If you want my full local SEO guide, you can check it out in the link in the description below. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.